Buying your first car is one of the most exciting milestones of your adult life. However, it can also become one of your biggest financial traps if you are not careful. Today we are going to break down the real cost of buying and owning a car. So whether you are buying your first car or you are planning to upgrade from your current car, this video is for you. We are going to look at 5 parts. The first being the sticker price of the car, the second being the monthly ownership costs, the third being depreciation, the fourth some alternatives for you to look at, and the fifth one being tips for first-time buyers. We will start with the actual cost of buying a car, and this is way more than just the monthly installment that you are paying back to the bank. In 2025, on average, an entry-level car in Namibia or in South Africa is ranging between 250,000 to 300,000 just for an entry-level car. This could be your Toyota Starlet, this could be your Suzuki Swift, this could be your Polo Vivos, and other similar cars in the same category. And if you are to compare between the examples that I have given, your Polo Vivo is the highest one, where the entry-level price is starting from 271 and it can even go up to 289,000. While your Toyota Starlet, you are starting at 258,000, but many of them actually end up at around 320,000. While your Suzuki Swift, you are looking at starting at 216,000 up to 275,000, and that depends on the features and of course on where you are getting the car from. And when we are buying a car, many of us actually do not buy a car cash. Not many people can afford to buy a car cash, so majority of the people actually end up going to their bank so that they can apply for financing for their vehicle for up to 6 years of vehicle financing. So let's say, for example, you buy an entry-level Polo Vivo for 280,000 rands or 280,000 Namibian dollars. And let's say your deposit is 10%, while the bank is charging you 13% in interest for them to finance your vehicle for the period of 6 years. This is actually how your cost for the car is going to look like. So your sticker price, which is the car price from the garage, you are looking at 280,000, and since you are depositing 10%, that is 28,000. So 280,000 minus 28,000 is giving you a loan amount of 252,000. With an interest of 13%, you are looking at 120,000 over the 6-year period, and that is a total cost of the car. The sticker price together with the interest is 400,000, and on a monthly basis, you will be paying the bank 5,500 in monthly installments over that period when they are financing the car. So as you can see, even though you bought the car only for 280,000, you end up actually spending 400,000 on the car, because now you have added up the sticker price on the car, which is the retail price, plus the interest that the bank is charging you for them to finance the car for you over that period of time. And that is just the start. Now we are going to look into the monthly ownership costs of having your car. So if we stay with our example of our entry-level Polo Vivo that we bought for 280,000, the loan repayment for that is 5,500 that we are paying towards the bank. And then for fuel, looking at an average of 1,000 kilometers a month and fueling your car for $22 or 22 rands per liter on average, you are going to be spending 2,200 on your fuel per month. Then we add insurance, where you have taken out your vehicle insurance, where you are paying 900. Then we have service and maintenance, which is around 500 a month. Then we have the licensing and the registration, which this is an annual cost, but because we are people who budget and plan with our money, on a monthly basis you are putting away 120 towards that licensing, even though you only pay for it once a year as a lump sum amount. Then you also have a cost for your tires, of which on average you are spending 250 rands or 250 Namibian dollars per month. So in total, when you look at all of these costs, you are looking at 9,470, which you are paying towards your vehicle on a monthly basis. So even an entry-level car is costing you almost 9,500 a month just for you to own it and to be able to move from point A to point B. This is nearly 115,000 a year that you are actually spending on this car. And this is costs that are excluding any accidents and any breakdowns when it comes to your car. So this is basically just for ownership, just for having this car in your driveway and being able to go from one place to another. That is the cost that you are looking at. And for those who are buying SUVs and bakkies, this cost can actually go up by 50% or even up to 100%, where you could be paying double the amount that you are paying on this entry level example that we are using. On top of the sticker price, we also have to worry about depreciation. And our vehicles lose value so fast, and we do not always factor in this losing of value or this depreciation. On average, your car actually loses 15 to 20% of its value each year that you are owning or that you are having it. And if we stick to our example of our entry-level Polo Vivo, which we bought for 280,000, on a yearly basis, this is how the car is going to lose its value. For the first year, your car that was 280,000 has already depreciated to 238,000. And then on year 2, your car is worth even less, and this time it's worth 202,000. By year 3, it goes down again to 172,000, and by the time you are at year 5, you are at 110,000, and by the time you are done paying it off at year 6, you are actually at less than 100,000 in resale value for your car. So after 5 years, your car is going to be worth 110,000, even though you have spent 400,000 on the car, which is your sticker price of 280,000 plus the interest that you have paid on the car, which is 120,000. So what is the alternative then? You might be asking yourself. The good news is that you have some options. So here are some of the options that you can actually consider when it comes to buying a car. The first one is that consider buying a used car instead of buying a new car. And with used cars, the sweet spot is actually around a 3-year-old car. So 3 up to 5 years. So by that time, most of the depreciation has already happened. So you are not going to lose so much money, but the car is still in a very good condition. And buying second hand can actually save you up to 40% of what you could have spent on that car if you have bought it brand new. The second option is to use public transport. If you live in a city or in a town where you have efficient and safe public transport, you can consider using public transport. So it's something that you can consider because it can work out cheaper than you buying a car. The third option is for you to carpool, and here you want to look at, for example, your colleagues or your friends that live in the same area and maybe they work in the same direction, for instance, as you. Then you can actually hop on their car and you share the costs, which is much less than you owning a car. The fourth option is for you to work remotely. If you have a job that allows you or your employer allows you to work from home or to work remotely, take that option and consider working remotely. Or if you are working for yourself, you can consider working from home instead of having to drive to an office every day. So that is also an option, but that depends now on the type of work that you do and the type of policies around your work or your workplace. The fifth one is for you to delay buying a car and use that money that you could have put into the cost of owning a car into investments. So instead of buying the car, you invest the same amount of money. So for example, if you use the same amount of money that you would have paid on a monthly basis towards the car, especially your monthly installment to the bank of 5,500, and you invest that amount, you will end up having 480,000 in investments. That is almost 500,000 that you have invested. And that is compared to you putting the same amount of money towards the car, which then loses value. And in the end, you are losing 300,000 100,000 because now your car is only worth 100,000 after so many years of you owning and paying for the car. So what are some of the tips that you can consider if it's your first time buying a car? The first one is to do your research. Read, ask, go to showrooms and test drive cars. Do as much research as possible so that you can really know exactly what it is that you need versus what you want versus what you can afford, and really make an informed decision when it comes to your choice of a car. Whether you are buying brand new or you are buying second hand, you still need to do your research and make sure that all the boxes are ticked in terms of what are my needs, how much am I willing to spend, what can I afford, and all of that, so that you make an informed decision. Another thing that you want to do as a first-time buyer is to actually calculate the total cost of the car. Like I said, you have the sticker price, which is the price that the garage or the showroom gives you that they are selling the car for. But then you also have the interest, which the bank will charge you for financing your car. And on top of that, you have the monthly costs of actually owning the car. And if that is not enough, you also have this car that will be depreciating every single year. The value is just going down. So run your numbers, because the difference can be quite massive, and this can be an amount of money that you might actually end up putting towards a down payment on a home, or to pay for further studies, or something other than just owning a car. The third thing to consider as a first-time buyer is to actually avoid new cars and rather go for a second-hand car, if that is something that you are open to. The fourth thing is that before you buy your car, actually start saving the same amount that you would have paid towards the car into a separate savings account. And if you are able to do that for a minimum of 6 months without actually feeling the pinch and without it disrupting your finances, then you can afford a car at that amount. If not, then you can reconsider the type of car that you choose, or you can delay buying the car until you are in a better financial position to be able to afford the car without actually having money issues. Number 6 is that if you do end up buying a new car, drive that car until the wheels fall off. Like literally, drive that car for as many years as possible. If you sell it early, then you have just made a loss. But if you drive it for so many years, it might actually end up saving you money in the long run, and then you don't lose out so much. We need to understand that buying a car is not a bad thing. There is nothing wrong with buying a car. There is also nothing wrong with buying a new car. And there is nothing wrong with buying a second-hand car. So basically, it's okay to buy a car. What is important is that we have to run our numbers. We have to understand what is the real cost of me buying this car that I want. How much will this car be costing me every month? What are the opportunity costs when it comes to me buying this car? Just for you to be informed and to know exactly what you are getting yourself into and financially prepare yourself for the car. It is very important that you really understand what is the true cost. It is also important for us to be realistic with our monthly costs, especially if you are somebody who is attending weddings back home every other weekend. I know in Namibia a lot of people are attending northern weddings twice a month or once a month. And if you are somebody who is doing that, those costs can be really high when it comes to your fuel and your maintenance. And that is on top of other wedding guest costs that you have to incur for you to attend that wedding. And remember that if a car is costing you more than 20% of your annual income, then you really cannot afford that car. That car is causing you financial pressure, and it's also delaying you from reaching your financial freedom number, especially for those who are on their financial freedom journey like myself. And as I said, remember to run your numbers. It's important to have a good understanding of exactly how much your car is costing you. We are the generation that is going to be running our numbers. We are the generation that is going to run scenarios with our money so that we can ensure that we are making the best decisions for ourselves and for our futures. and eventually we'll be able to reach the freedom in terms of our money and in terms of our time that we have always wanted. Let me know in the comments, what car are you driving? What car are you currently driving? And what car are you planning to buy? Whether it's second hand, whether it's brand new. Let us know in the comments. If you found value in this video, hit the subscribe button below so that you can join our growing family, and I will see you in this checklist.